mandates forcing, right. He wants unvaccinated Canadian workers crossing back from the U.S. to quarantine. They're saying no, and about much more. Your reaction to this?
Yeah, obviously these government-imposed vaccine mandates are, they're unconstitutional in the United States. What he's doing is just bullying. It's not cool, and these guys are pushing back.
Yeah, the other thing too is we know that vaccines prevent against death and hospitalization. We are losing, though, generations worth of talent and massive amounts of brain power that this country desperately needs to recover. Vaccines don't stop transmission, the CDC director said. Mitt Romney's vaccinated, and he has it. So a healthcare worker can be vaccinated, right, have a positive COVID test, go back to work asymptomatic, taking care of patients. They're not fired. But if you have 2 shots, no booster, you have, say, an autoimmune problem, you have natural immunity because you got sick, but you're fired. This is zero common sense.
Particularly what the Supreme Court did for U.S. healthcare workers is, I think, terrible. They basically said healthcare workers are a different class of citizens and don't have the same rights. They reversed the mandates to non-healthcare workers. But, these healthcare workers are American citizens. They have the same, or should have the same, constitutional rights as every other American.
They should be reinstated, get back pay, and get their benefits reinstated as well. And recall and fire the politicians who are just behaving. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we certainly need them. We have a shortage of physicians. We have a shortage of nurses in this country. And then they do this. The ones that are working are overwhelmed. They're exhausted. This has been a long pandemic, and these decisions, these mandate decisions, even the one made by the Supreme Court to basically create a different class of citizen, is wrong.
Wall Street Journal reporting we're in a new defining moment in history. The leading industrialized nations in Europe and North America, Asia Pacific, those officials who call for shutdowns are now being called out for mishandling the pandemic. In Europe, they're saying it's now endemic. We're going to have to live with it. Denmark is saying that. Sweden has been saying that. Australia is saying we're not going to lock down again. We could suffer up to $35 trillion in losses because of the lockdowns worldwide. That's according to McKinsey. This is going to happen by 2025. This is serious stuff, Congressman.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You look at the increase in just adolescent girls going to the emergency department for behavioral or mental health issues. It increased 35% last year. For some reason, the CDC is not releasing the information on suicides, but that's a massive increase in mental health issues for our children, all because of the way they've reacted on this virus with kids. And only, you hate to say any death of a child is horrible. But from the percentages of those who are dying from the vaccine, the risk is so small for children. And yet the risk for some of these draconian lockdown measures, we know they're bad. 10 years, 15 years from now, we're going to be paying for the lost education from all of this stuff.
Let's watch HBO's Bill Maher on this. Watch this.
Let's get this straight. It's not me who's changed. It's the left, who is now made up of a small contingent who've gone mental and a large contingent who refuse to call them out for it. But I will. That's why I'm a hero at Fox these days. Which shows just how much liberals have their head up their ass, because if they really thought about it, they would have made me a hero on their media. But that can't happen in this ridiculous new era of mind-numbing partisanship, where if I keep it real about the nonsense in the Democratic Party, it makes me an instant hero to Republicans.
But now we've got Spotify announcing it's going to add a content advisory after rock stars are slamming Joe Rogan for misinformation about the pandemic, including vaccines. Your reaction to that story?
Well, once again, the woke left wants to censor free speech in America. I mean, that's what this is. Now, I haven't watched Joe on any of that. I haven't heard what he said, so I can't, vouch for whether or not he's accurate or not. But I can tell you this, he's an American citizen with First Amendment rights, And what we're doing now is we're saying, if you don't think the way I think, then you're wrong. We're going to cancel you. And we've got to stop this. Bill Maher's right. I mean, what's happened to the left, that they have gone off the deep end, really a Marxist deep end, whether it's the economy or, Afghanistan or foreign policy. It's just, sad.
Got it. Congressman Mark Green, thanks for joining us. Come back soon.
Thanks,
Okay.
Liz.